Yeah, today I want to talk about if the Denver Nuggets can be beat in the Western Conference specifically. And of course, it prompted me to do a tier list of who actually has a shot, who has no shot at all, and break it down to look at it to explain why I don't know if the Denver Nuggets can be beat or not. We are going to go off the standings in order and then rank those people where I want to rank them based on the standings. Now, S is for superior. It's like top notch, above tier one. And you have A, B, C, D, and F. I'm going to base this off of not only, well, pretty much only this season, but I'm also going to take into consideration, you know, age, different things, injuries. So when you see a team like potentially the Memphis Grizzlies at an F, it's because John Morant's out this year. And let's start with the San Antonio Spurs. Well, obviously, they're a team that should be pretty much in the F. I'm just going to put them in the D because shout out to Greg Popovich and shout out to Victor Wembanyama, one of the most exciting rookies we've seen in many years. And I just think it's disrespectful to put the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, or Greg Popovich at the F. So I'm going to put them at the D, even though they have zero chance to compete with the Nuggets and zero chance to make the playoffs. They're the only team eliminated in the Western Conference. But out of respect, they fall in the D. Next up is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, the Portland Trailblazers fall to the F. Not only did they trade away Damian Lillard, they also just feel like I know they got Scoot Henderson, but it just doesn't feel like and DeAndre Ayton this year. And they added, of course, they have their pieces that they've had before, and they're in a rebuild mode. But it also just doesn't feel like that they've built a great potential future coming up. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that Scoot Henderson he's not like a rookie Luka Doncic or a rookie Victor Wembanyama or Chet Holmgren or whoever it is. It doesn't feel like this team is about to be the next OKC, for example. Like, oh, look at all these young pieces and they're going to dominate later. OKC did it the right way. It feels like Portland missed so far, but they're going to have many years of being in the dumpster fire that they're in, unfortunately. And then you never know. They might get out of it pretty well. You have the Grizzlies, and these are probably the worst teams, right? If you look at the standings, after the Grizzlies, those three teams, the Jazz are still only 6 games out of that play-in spot. It's not good, but there's somewhat potential, maybe. So the Grizzlies, Blazers, and Spurs, they're probably the only teams that are going to be in this category. First of all, they're not going to even make a play-in game. None of them, probably no matter what happens. Spurs are already eliminated. And that's just the reality of it. There's no arguing it. And this tier is supposed to be, it's not just about the future. It's about who can compete with the Nuggets in the Western Conference, right? Let's look at the Jazz. The Jazz are going to be the first team in the C bracket. You know what? I changed my mind. They're in the D bracket. Because they're most likely not going to catch up to the Warriors or Lakers. I'm almost confident. And whatever they have set up kind of reminds me of the Blazers situation. Is they have a decent future maybe ahead, but there's actually nothing that special going on there. And they're a D. They should have been better too. With Lauri Markkanen and some of the pieces they have, they should have been a little bit better. And they have spurts. They did this last year and this year where they had spurts where they got decent, but they keep falling short. So I'm going to put them at the D category because of that reason. And then you have the Houston Rockets, who I will respectfully place at the C. Sengun is out for the season with that brutal ankle injury, knee. I don't even know. It looked like half his leg bent. It was unfortunate. But thankfully, there was no major structural damage. It's just such a bad strain. And I'm sure there's a couple other messed up things in there that he needed to be out for the year. But it sounds like it wasn't a broken leg or torn ACL or anything. But they're in the C category. I don't know. They were built very oddly, and they were getting better. But the mix of having Sengun with Jalen Green and Tari Eason and Jalen Green and then they brought in Van Vliet and Dylan Brooks, it just felt like an odd, like, just like a big plate of gumbo, just like thrown at him, right? Like they just mixed it up and it was not making sense. And I don't know what the future holds for them because they have big contracts for Dylan Brooks and Van Vliet. And you have a Jalen Green that I'm just not, you know, I just don't know if he's a winning basketball player. But then you do have Jabari Smith and you have your Sengun. So I don't know. It's an odd situation there, but they fall at the sea because they're not going to make this play-in most likely. They're 5 games behind the Warriors, 6 behind the Lakers. I think the play-in, that top 10, is completely set. And that's where we start to get to the important parts. The Golden State Warriors. Now this gets tricky. And you guys might not like some of these answers that I'm going to have, but I'm being realistic. The Golden State Warriors are going to be in the A category. A team that, if I told you the Warriors end up in a series with the Nuggets, or sorry, let's just say they end up in a series with the OKC Thunder, and they somehow won because they're veterans, and in the next round they face the Nuggets, and they give them some shit. I'm not saying they're going to beat the Nuggets, but they give them some shit, give them some problems. Do you think that's possible? Absolutely. I will never count out a team. This is going to be a little bit of a giveaway probably. With Kevin Durant, with LeBron James, or with Stephen Curry. If Kuminga keeps taking little steps, Chris Paul always in the playoffs finds a way to be good, I think this team deserves to be in the A category, just in all reality. The Lakers, I'm putting them in the damn A category. I don't care what anyone says. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that's all I'm going to say. There's a chance. When they are both playing well, especially when AD's starting to play well too, there's always a chance for them. Always. It's not a question. I'm not saying they will, because I think AD chokes in front of Nikola Jokic, but there's a chance always. That's all I'm going to say. And then, of course, we get to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm also putting them at the A category. There's something about, we saw them get hot at some point. I think it was right before the All-Star break in February, where they won like 7 in a row. When Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are going, and like they're going, and they're playing really well together, it's really hard to stop them. And they have a chance. That's all I'm saying. They will most likely not have a chance to beat the Nuggets, but they have a chance compared to some of the other teams that are coming up. The Sacramento Kings, as much as I like what they've built, they're going to the B category. When I look at, and it's not just based on their history, but there's something about, I really love De'Aaron Fox. I truly do. Malik Monk's going to be the 6th man of the year. I love Sabonis. I like a lot of their pieces. But would they even stand a chance against the Nuggets? I think it might be a 4-0 sweep or a 4-1 series. I don't feel that way about the Warriors, Nuggets, and Mavericks. Sorry, the Warriors, Lakers, and Mavericks. Even if the Warriors, Lakers, and Mavericks lose to Denver, I would bet they both win 2 games. All 3 of them win 2 games at least. They might even force a game 7. But it'll be at least a 6-game series. Kings, I have a feeling if they had to play the Nuggets. I'm not saying the Kings won't make it out of the first round. If they don't have to play Denver, they might make it out of the first round. I'm talking about against the Denver Nuggets. The Kings might have a better final season than the Warriors, Lakers, and Mavs. But against the Nuggets, they might get swept. That's how I truly feel. The Phoenix Suns, you should have guessed it, are going to be in the A category. I'm a big Devin Booker fan. I'm a big Kevin Durant fan. And I think Bradley Beal has been destined to be a number 3. Now, we haven't seen it all together. But doesn't it make sense if they went on a hot run? Would the Nuggets sweep the Suns? Absolutely not. The Suns will win 2 or 3 games. The Suns have a chance, a shot at beating the Nuggets. I'm not saying they will. There's a reason they're not in the S, in the superior. But a team with Steph Curry, you can't count them out. A team with LeBron James, you can't count them out. Luka and Kyrie, when they got hot, I don't know. Every young team like that, like a young Luka type of guy, there's a year where they get hot and might win one. You never know. And Kevin Durant and the Suns, and Devin Booker, there's a shot. That's all I'm saying. The Pelicans, I like what they're building. but they're with the Kings. They're not. Zion's fun. Brandon Ingram's fun. McCollum's fun. They're actually a really fun team to watch sometimes when they're clicking. There's no shot. If they played the Nuggets, I'm guessing 4-1 or 4-0 sweep. I'd be absolutely shocked if they won 2 or 3 games against the Nuggets. Kings are a first or second round exit, and so are the Pelicans. Both of them are first or second round exits, and that's just the reality of where they are right now. It feels somewhat. Don't get me wrong, and with myself, it even feels like, are you just basing this off their history and their past, like that they just always don't really go far? But no, I think it's just truly who they are right now. The L.A. Clippers. They are going to be one of the few teams in the Superior. If there's a team that I'm most worried about, I don't even want to say worried because like that sounds like I'm just being biased towards the Nuggets. But if there's one team that I really think has a shot to beat the Nuggets this year, it's going to be the Clippers. I don't know who's stopping Jokic. Don't get me wrong. But when Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Russell, when they're all playing right and playing in their roles, this team has been really good. Not just that. Kawhi Leonard, the last time we've seen, every time we've seen Kawhi Leonard make it through a full playoff healthy, he ends up making it to a finals or going super far. He just doesn't do that very often. He does it 2 or 3 times in his career, and he's won 2 championships now, right? One of San Antonio when he was super healthy when he was young, and then he made a full healthy season with the Raptors and decided, oh, cool year to win a championship. And then since he's been on the Clippers, there hasn't been a full year where the whole team's healthy, including Kawhi Leonard, where they make it to the playoffs and they start this run. When he is healthy, there's always a chance. And then they just have so much firepower on that team that you never know. And I think they're better than the Warriors, the Suns, the Mavs, the Lakers. I don't think they're better than the Nuggets, but they deserve to be in that top 2 or 3 teams that are going to be in that top category. And we get to the Timberwolves. They're one of the harder ones here because I want to put them here in the Superior. But then I know Karl-Anthony Towns just got hurt, so I want to put him here. And then I look at it here. With Karl-Anthony Towns hurt now, it's going to take him, some time to get back. Do the Wolves fit in the category with the Suns, Mavs, Lakers, Warriors? I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because of 1, the injuries, and 2, I hate to do it, but they feel like they just fit in the Sacramento, Minnesota, New Orleans category. They just don't seem to have luck as a franchise, and they'll probably, unless Cat makes a full recovery, everybody's ready and they're back and clicking, they have a chance. But for right now, I'm going to put him in the B category. Because right now, I love Anthony Edwards. You have no idea how much I love Anthony Edwards. Minnesota, I think the 3 teams I'm rooting for the most right now in the NBA to win it this year in the West, at least in the West, would be Denver, Phoenix, and Minnesota. I love Devin Booker. I love Anthony Edwards. I love Jokic and Jamal Murray. Those 3 teams, obviously it's cool if you see LeBron make another run or Steph Curry make another run, but I'm just who I would just love to see get a ring. I would love to see Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and for the city of Minnesota, it's almost like the Kings. I just don't think the Kings even have a shot at it. Kings and Pelicans might even be in the C category for me, but they're just not. I guess they're in the B. But Wolves, if they stay healthy and everything clicks, they have somewhat of a shot. But they have to be in that category. A team, that's just a team that it would be cool to see, but I just don't think. And I'm going to obviously just drop the Nuggets next. I'm going to put them ahead of the Clippers because that's who I think is the reality right there. I think it goes number 1, Denver, number 2, LA, and it leaves us with the number 1 seed right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I really want to put OKC here. And I think I'm going to. They're the number 1 seed. I'm also like, and I'm an honest dude. I when I'm biased, I tell you. Like, if I really want to, I'd want to put them here because they should be the Seattle Sonics. They should be in the F because I'm born and raised in Seattle. I've been desperately in need of a team again. Like, my Seattle Sonics back. And OKC stole them. And there shouldn't be a team. Okay, you know what? That's disrespect to Oklahoma City fans. There should be a team in Oklahoma City in this next expansion if that was the right choice. But it should have been in Seattle, and that's what bothers me. They're like the most. I'm gonna put them at the front of the A. The rest of these ones aren't in order. So this is in order. Nuggets 1, Clippers 2. OKC's that next. Like, they're somewhere here, but they're just too young. Next year, they're gonna be probably right here, right after the Nuggets. This is 2025 because Shea will be even better somehow. Chet will be even better somehow. And they're going to have like 75 first-round draft picks again next year. So they're like fringe. I'm going to put them here. And the rest of this one, to be honest, my order would be the Suns. I think my top 4 right now are Nuggets, Clippers, OKC, Phoenix. And remember, this is to compete with the Nuggets. So I'm even going to change that because to compete with the Nuggets, I would still, like, if this was just the order of who's the best teams, the Wolves would still move up. But to compete with the Nuggets, it's Clippers, Suns, OKC, LA, Anthony Davis. And these two are here. But these two, I just don't know if there's enough firepower and somebody to guard Jokic. The Suns and OKC have enough firepower in the Clippers. The Lakers have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis doesn't always do well against Jokic. He had the bubble run, but he is a phenomenal big. And then these two teams just, if they get hot, right? This is like the Warriors and Mavs are like, you got hot? Cool. We'll see what happens. But right now, I think the only team that truly might, these two, like Suns and OKC, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to add one more row. Okay? This is going to be A+. The last row. Suns, OKC. That's the order. Suns, OKC. And if we want to do the rest of them in actual order, I'm going to put the Wolves here. Kings, Pelicans, Rockets here, Spurs, Jazz, boom, boom. I hope y'all enjoy. I love y'all, and I really appreciate all the support. Like and subscribe, and we'll be back next time.